good. So I'm going to do that again. Hi, everyone. Welcome. We are in room 120. I'm going to ask that you stay muted until we have questions so that everyone can hear what we're talking about. You'll see our 120 friends back here, and you'll see that they have set up for us our chick station. So first things first, I'm going to pull one of our little guys out. So right now, this is what our chicks look like. Who can raise their hand and tell me, what is this? What is this? Michelle's room, room 208. Can one of you answer us?
There we go.
What is this, room 208?
Eggshell.
It's an egg. You are correct. So our chicks for 21 days will be growing in these eggs. Now we have some brown eggs and we have some white eggs. So what is called an incubator?
Oh, here we are.
So an incubator is something that keeps the eggs warm. So the chickens will take 21 days before they hatch. And what day are we on, Miss Autumn? We are on their third day. So they still have 18 days before they hatch. And they're in, remember we said the incubator. And the incubator is what keeps them warm. I'm going to bring this up, and I might have to have one of my friends help me here. I want to show you some things about this incubator. All right. So this is an incubator. It has this right here, which tells us what the temperature is and the humidity. The eggs for the first 18 days have to be kept at about 100 to 101 degrees with 45 to 55% humidity. So that's how much water it needs to be in the air. Now, days 18 to 21, we up the humidity, so we'll add more water for the last days. In the inside, I'm going to open it for a minute because we want to keep them warm. You can look. So here's all of our eggs. We have 12 eggs that are sitting, and they're on what's called a turner. So as it goes, it'll automatically turn the eggs. Now, why would you think we would want to turn eggs? Who has an idea? Who can raise their hand, anyone, and have an idea as to why would we want the eggs to turn? Cameron, what do you think? Oh, I see the hand behind me too. I'm gonna have to call them next.
To keep them all equally warm.
Oh, that's a good idea. That would be one reason. We do want to keep them equally warm. We're pretty lucky. Our incubator stays pretty good temperature the whole time. Good job. Mr. Travis, what did you think? Why do we want the eggs to turn?
They don't stay in one spot, so the insides get to move too.
Travis says so that they don't stay in one spot, so that all the insides get to move too. Who, if we didn't have them in an incubator, who would be helping to hatch the eggs? Who would be helping? Miss Autumn, who? The chicken, the mama, which is the mama chicken, is called a... Does anyone know what a mama chicken's called? I'll give you a hint. It starts with an H. Trevor, what is a mama chicken called?
It's how a what?
It's a
Hen.
yes.
Yep.
A hen is the mama chicken. And she sits on her eggs for those 21 days, and she will move them with her feet and spin them so that they keep warm, but so they also get to move as they grow and develop. All right, so we're going to look a little bit today. Like I said, we're not going to do everything today because for the next 2 weeks, Monday through Thursday at 2:15, you'll be able to hop on a Zoom and we'll look at how they're doing every single day. Next Friday, I'll have it at 9:45 and it'll be a longer one and we're gonna candle the eggs. We're gonna get to look inside of them and we will do that on Zoom. So on day one, now I'm gonna see, we're gonna move this closer. Bailey, can you help us out here? All right, I'm gonna come show our friends what our chicks look. So like this is called a diagram and it's showing us what they look like each day. So on day one, this is what our eggs looks like in the inside. It looks pretty much like a normal egg. You have your white and your yellow, and we're gonna talk about the actual names for those. Now yesterday was day 2. And on day 2, got my half shells. It looks a little bit different. So this is day 1. On day 2, look, has a little bit of this red in here. Does anyone have any idea what that red could be? What would that red be? Anyone want to take a guess? I'll give you a hint. It goes thump, 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 thump.
Do myself.
right.
Olivia. Okay. What do you think? Can you say it one more time, Olivia?
Blood.
The red is your heart. It is. Yesterday, our chickies developed their heart. Let's take a look. We haven't looked at today's yet. So this is day 3. This is if we had an egg and we opened it up right now. We're not going to do that because we want our chickens to hatch in 21 days. It would look like this. So if we look at day 2, it has a little red. Today it has a lot more. So this is day 3. Day 2, they had a heart and their heart started beating. This is day 3. Excellent job. Thanks, Faye. All right. So, whoa. Whoa. Don't want to make anyone seasick there. Today, on day 3, our chicks developed more blood vessels. So the heart was in the middle, and then all those lines going out were the blood vessels. So that's what's happening inside our incubator today. Let's see. Travis is going to color this for us at some point today. This is our countdown. So we had this today's day 3. So Travis will color in our day 3 so we can keep track of where we are at. At day 18, remember we have to change things. So day 18 is a special day. All right. We're going to talk a little bit about the life cycle, and I want to talk a little bit about a couple of these words, and then I have a fun story to read for you. And all of your teachers have a Google slide that has some interactive pieces that you can do to keep with the chickens. So let's see. We're going to talk about the parts that are important right now. So this word is embryo. So an embryo is the unborn chick at the earliest stage of development inside the egg. So right now, we have our chicken and our eggs would be in the embryo stage. Ooh, does anyone know what this word is? Anyone know what that word is? I'll give you a hint. It's the outside of an egg is the shell. The shell is the hard, thin outside layer of an egg, and it's not edible, so we don't eat the shells. We also have the membrane. So the membrane is a thin layer inside of the shell that protects the chick during development against infections. And we'll talk about this as we move through as they start to develop more things. The yolk is the yellow or orange part, and that's the food. So as the chicks are in there, are they getting to eat food like they would if they were born? Are they getting to eat in there? No. Autumn says no. Travis says no. They're not eating in there. So this orange yolk is actually their food for them as they grow. Also in the eggs is an air cell. And the air cell is where the chick will turn to as it develops. And it's at the bigger side of the egg. So if you look at an egg, one side's pointed. One side's pointed, so the air cell would be here at the bottom, the wider side. Oh man, this is the word that Miss Tammy and me had to look up to how to say it, and now I don't remember. Shalze. Shalze. This is the part. Shalze. Autumn's got it. Shalze. We had to look this one up because I did not know. The shalze is part of the albumin. The albumin is the egg white. It's the part around the egg yolk. So the shalze is where the egg yolk, and it anchors the egg yolk to the center of the shell. So it keeps that nutritional part where the baby chick is growing in the middle, so it's not off to a side as it's rotating around in the incubator, or as the mama rolls it. We just talked about the albumin is the egg white, and it protects the yolk and provides protein for the embryo. So protein is more food. So these chicks in there, you got to think in 21 days, they go from nothing to being fully born. They're going to be eating a lot in 21 days. We also have the germinal disc, which is on the egg yolk and helps the embryo during early development. And it's just a little spot in there. In our pictures, that's already kind of disappearing. That's already becoming our heart and our blood cells. And then, of course, this will be our last word we talk about today. It's the chick. It's the baby chicken. That's what a baby chicken's called. Walk, walk, walk. So I'm going to bring you up here one more time, and we're going to look at the life cycle. Actually, let's just do this, because I'm not that tall. So we're going to look at the life cycle. Where are we at right now? Does anyone know? Oh, I see some people pointing. I'm going to ask my friend right here. Where are we at right now? Miss Autumn, where are we at right now? You're right. Miss Autumn says we are at the embryo stage. We put an egg in on Wednesday. And so we are already at the embryo stage. When you guys are at home and we're going to start to do this chick development. And then hopefully on the 28th, we have hatching started. And then we'll have lots of chicks. And room 120 is going to be peep, 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 peep. Yay! All right. So I'm going to stick that back up here. And I'm going to sit down and read you all a story.
Grab a chair right there, or you want that rolling?
All right. This is kind of a silly story. And in the packet that you have online, there are some questions that go with it. So this story is called The Perfect Nest. I know. The Perfect Nest.
What a mess.
What a mess? Not a mess, a nest. And it's by Catherine Friend, and it's illustrated by John Manders. I skipped a page, sorry. There we go. Jack the cat gathered together everything he needed. Then he built the perfect nest, dry and cozy and just the right size. But the nest was not for Jack was a cat. With this perfect nest, he would attract a perfect chicken who would lay a perfect egg, which would make a perfect omelet for a cat like Jack. Uh-oh. Soon enough, a chicken came along. Look at that. He put a welcome mat. He gave him a nice steps up to this cozy bed he put with pillows. He even put some food down here. Jack the cat sounds like trouble. Ay caramba, she cried. A perfect nest. She hopped up and laid a very small egg. Then a duck waddled by, Scaraboo, she cried. The nest is perfect. Oh, so we have a chicken who laid an egg. Now we have a duck. Huh. What might that duck do in the nest? What might a duck do in a nest? Does anyone have an idea? Does anyone in room 113 have an idea? What would a duck do in a nest?
Come on, guys. What do you think a duck would do in the nest?
Do you think he's going to take a bath in a nest, or might he lay an egg?
Lay an egg, yeah.
Let's find out. The duck pushed the chicken out, hopped up, and laid a medium-sized egg. Then a goose lumbered by. Great balls of fire, she cried. A perfect nest. The goose pushed the duck, hopped up, and laid a large egg. How many eggs are in that nest? 1, 2, 3. 3 eggs. And we have a small egg, a medium egg, and the large egg. Jack's mouth began to water. These eggs would make 3 omelets. Oh, Yuck is right, silly cat. Oh no. But then the duck leaped onto the goose's back. This is my nest. The chicken flew up on the duck. No, this is my nest. The 3 cackled, quacked, and honked, but each refused to leave the perfect nest. They squished each other for days. Each day, Jack tried to get the birds off the nest. Fire! Fire! He cried. They didn't move. Flood! Flood! He screeched. They didn't move. Woof! Woof! He cried. But the chicken, the duck, and the goose would not move at all. I think that's probably how Jack felt. He probably felt he wished he could move them himself. You're right. Finally, Jack stood before them. You birds are so silly. The next farm over has an even better nest and it's empty. Why doesn't one of you use that nest? An empty nest? Cried the chicken. Without a goose to sit on my head? Caramba! Skaboo! Cried the duck. I'm tired of smelling like this chicken. That nest is mine. Great balls of fire, honked the goose. Out of my way! And they all flapped away. Alone at last, Jack returned to the nest and peeked inside. He arranged the eggs neatly in a row, small for breakfast, medium for lunch, and large for dinner. Jack's stomach rumbled, but then, oh, what do you see is happening? Anyone have any ideas? Look at the bottom. Look at that egg. What's starting to happen there? It is broke. What might happen if the egg is broke? Can you see that little crack right there? What could be gonna happen? Room 206, do you guys know? What could be happening?
What do you think, Ken?
It will hatch.
What? Gonna hatch. I think it's gonna hatch.
crack! The small egg broke open and out popped a wet baby chick who looked up at Jack and said, Grandma! Hola, mama! Is Jack his mom? Jack's a cat. Crackety snap! The medium egg broke open and out scrambled a wet baby duck who looked up at Jack and said, Bonjour. Hola. He went bonjour. Close. Crackety crack. Boom. The largest egg broke open and out stepped a wet baby goose who looked up at Jack and said, Howdy. Great balls of fire, Ma.
This is a hysterical one.
Oh dear, these creatures. Jack stared at the babies. What was he to do? He couldn't make omelets out of babies. Dry me, dry me, dry me, cried the soggy baby chick. Feed me, feed me, feed me, cried the hungry baby duck. Play, 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 cried the excited baby goose.
Babies are
Oh, Jack hid in the barn. The three babies chased and found him. He went and hid in the woods, and the babies found him again. Jack hid under the tractors. The three babies found him and dragged him back to the nest. Sleep, 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 the tired babies finally whispered. Cold, 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 said the shivering babies. Drac scratched his head. Someone had to care for these babies, but there was no one else around. Jack lifted all three babies into the nest. Buenas noches, mama, said the baby chick. Bonne nuit, mama, said the baby duck. Sweet dreams, ma, said the baby goose. Then Jack climbed into the nest and the babies fell asleep. That's when he realized that this really was the perfect nest. The end. So we're not hatching ducks or geese, and we're hoping no cat comes and tries to steal our incubator. So nobody bring a cat to school, okay? Deal? All right. I'll let you look one more time in here, and then you can see they're all still back in here. Let's see, I'm just gonna lift it a little bit. We don't want to mess with them too much, but we have the brown eggs and the white eggs. It's really warm, and they're just slowly rotating. That's what this yellow is. It'll turn it. And we'll talk more and more about that in the next few weeks. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that you join us again, even if you're all at home. Thank you, Room 120, for being fabulous participants. Thank you all. We'll see you again.
Megan. Thank you.
Bye, guys.